In this guide, you'll absolutely learn how to track the enemy jungle and the simple steps that you can apply to lower the chances of you getting ganked by a huge lot. My name is Bizaiz and I am a League of Legends coach with over 10 years experience. Here you can see my client getting coaching session, and after a month he got from Silver 1 to Emerald 4. This is how his gameplay looks like after the coaching session. This player right here, she was Gold 1 a month and a half after the coaching session. She booked basically 3 coaching sessions. She got to Diamond 4 after the coaching session insanely fast. This guy is actually a long-term client of me. He has 85% win rate, win master tier. 1 year and a half ago, he was Gold 4, absolutely hard stuck. And if I can tell you something, is that jungle trucking is a skill that many people lack and that makes them lose a lot of games that they shouldn't lose. And speaking of winning the game that you're supposed to win, if you truly want to improve as AD carry, you struggle carrying games, you absolutely need my personalized coaching session that covers you have low damage, how to do more damage in your game. Do you win the lane but you don't know how to convert into the lead into the win in the later stages? You learn the most important fundamentals to convert the lead into a lane into a lead into the later stages. So if you're serious about getting better and improving, go ahead and book your own personalized coaching session at bizaiz.com. Rule number 1. Decide on the type of the junglers they have. Fast ganker or full clear. In League, the main common type of junglers are gankers and full clears. This is going to help you to sense the urgency, the amount of pressure they have on the lane, that they can actually exert it on your lane. Gankers usually spam pressure early ganks. These are Elise, Jarvan, Rek'Sai, like early game junglers that they have some reliable CC that they can hit and you're just gonna die, or you need to be forced to flash. And of course, the full clear ones are Shyvana, Karthus, Hecarim, but there are also hybrid style, of course, like Kayn, Graves, which means they can farm, but also gank. Against an Elise, warding and jungle tracking is crucial, but against a Shyvana, warding becomes drastically less useful as she has little to no pressure. For the ganker junglers, the earliest gank you can get is after enemy is level 3. So around 2 minutes and 40 seconds to 3 minutes, like worst case scenario. So the absolute earliest gank you can get is after the guy does basically 3 camps, right? So let's say I'm jungle, I'm starting bot lane. The absolute earliest gank I can do 1, 2, 3 and gank bot. Of course, things like Kayn, they can do buff to buff to red, like just it doesn't have to be in order necessarily, but what you have to really remember is that the earliest gank they can get, of course, the earliest gank you can get is level 2, but usually 99% of the cases you're not gonna get ganked level 2. This is not the meta, and if they gank, they probably burn flash, and then your jungle is gonna be like 2 to 3 camps up, which means the enemy jungle is just screwed, right? So a level 2 gank, maybe it's gonna happen in 3 to 5% of the games. I think if it's lower, but the 20%, 15% of the times, if you really get ganked early on, it's gonna be after level 3, yeah. So the jungle needs 3 camps, and the earliest they can really finish is 225 to 30, so they can be 245 on the bot lane. Again, that's like 10% of the cases. I wouldn't really be worried about that, but yes, usually some junglers, they can gank like that. And again, if you identify that it's a jungle, we're gonna show, like, see some things right here from my main account. So let's say right here, let's see, it's a Graves. I'm not really scared of level 3. He could do it, so I'm not gonna play too aggressive, but he shouldn't really do it usually. Lilia, if I'm Ashe, I'm not scared of her because she's level 6 ganker usually. I'm not gonna play extremely aggressive, but I will respect her. I'll still be respectful. So as you can see, I'm trying to think, look, Shaco, he can level 3, so I'm definitely going to be like super careful because he can level 3, and this is the fastest level 3 in the game, in my opinion. It's 225. It's really fast. He can finish 3 camps very fast with the boxes. And then if I'm Caitlyn, Braum, yes, Brand can also level 3. So how do I know if you can do like 3 camps into bot lane fastest gank? Usually ganks like this happen with things that have CC and have good clear, like Shaco, Brand, Elise. You won't see Karthus, Hecarim doing that. He can, but usually he wouldn't do it. But usually the most dangerous spot is around 320 plus. Usually 320 they finish the camp. Obviously you're gonna get ganked after that mark, but again 320, 325 you're gonna get ganked. You should have the word 20 to 30 seconds before, so you're not gonna word at that time. You're gonna word like 250, 255. So when do you get ganked? You get ganked at 330. It's really likely you'll get ganked. So in my opinion, 80% of the ganks are like around that mark. So if you want to word, you should word 20 to 30 seconds before you get ganked. The best timing in terms of the wave is after the 3rd cannon wave. So as you can see right here, we have ruler. So when exactly does he get ganked? Again, in terms of the time, so the best timing really to ward is usually after the third wave. So the cannon wave, yes? So right here, we see Ruler. He actually looked to slow push in this lane because again, they were looking to just zone. So as we can see right here, he's just playing the lane normally, but what I want to show you right here is that this is the cannon wave, so it's the third wave. So after this, usually you want to gank. There are situations where you're getting ganked now, but very, very unlikely. So 20 to 30% of the ganks, they will happen after this third wave right here. And 90% of the waves, 90% of the ganks are gonna actually happen after the fourth or the fifth wave. Okay, that's around 320 plus mark, as I said before. Okay, so now Ruler, what he does, it is actually a mistake that he doesn't crush fast enough. He should crush this and go for a ward. So he tries to really try to crush this, and of course, what he does, this is Ruler. So some people believe that this is the best AD carry in the world. So this guy is not silver, okay? So he immediately goes for a ward right here because again, he pushed the wave is in the tower, he has good timing. The wave is in the tower. He can't really get pressure because this is fog of war. As he's going to go into the fog of war, they can't really react because they have like 3 to 4 minions into the tower. So he goes for a ward. He's a bit autopilot because he does not have a ward, and now Needly is right here. Again, this is 317 and Needly finished the camps. Again, this is challenger, okay? So in 99% of the cases, if you play gold, silver, emerald, low diamond, even master tier, the Needly is gonna farm until 320 easily. 325, 330, he's gonna be bot lane. Again, this is challenger, 1000 LP Korea, so this is just insane fast clear. This guy probably did thousands of clears in practice still before doing this, so this doesn't usually happen. But I want to show you that usually after the third wave, you want to look to ward when the wave is when the wave went into the tower, and you want to make sure you ward after the wave goes in the tower. Of course, what is also important is that there are situations when you can ward if the wave is not in the tower. Let's say you're in this position and the wave, this is their wave and this is your wave, and you want to go for a fast ward. You can also do that. Just make sure the HP of the minions that you're leaving is like healthy, so you're not going to lose the minions as you go forward. And in that situation, since you don't have a wave into the tower, as we said, the waves are going to be here. You have to go for a fast word. You can't really go for a deeper word. A deeper word is when you crash the wave into the tower and you go for a normal tribush word, or even this word is also a reasonable word, these two. But if you just have to, like, let's say they are a very strong matchup and you're stuck here for whatever reason, and you have to crash but you don't know where is the jungle, and you really, it's after 320 mark and you know the high, like it's a high chance to get ganked, then you go really fast. When the HP of the minions is like healthy, you go really fast, you go for a fast word here, boom, you try to crush, and then you just, maybe you can go for a deeper word like this one, or maybe even push in this one. But yeah, this word is also a reasonable word, so yes. Of course, challenger players like Ruler, they also use a trick. So they identify the jungle right here, and it's a Needly, okay? And it's also it's a Needly with a Blitzcrank, so it's pretty strong. So now he knows that he can do 3 camps into bot lane. So he's just gonna ward for, like right now, before the waves are gonna met here, he's just gonna leave a ward and go to the lane. This is just optimal. This is like challenger easy trick here, against a Needly, against like a Jarvan, against someone that is like Elise. You just go for a ward because he can do level 3 gank you really fast. So he just puts a ward. Of course, if the enemy jungle was like a Karthus or Hecarim, this ward is absolutely garbage, but in this case it's good, and of course any challenger player knows about it, right? So you should do it as well. Don't forget about the level 6 gankers. So these are just like Shyvana, or you know, Evelyn or Lilia. These, you're probably not gonna get of those people for a while, right? Just because they actually have to fall clear. You're just going to play really like they're just gonna play for the farm, so you're not most likely not gonna get ganked. The second tip is, look at the setup of the gank and the jungle setup that they have. The amount of CC obviously is extremely important when it comes to them ganking. So here, Ruler, not only that he worded right here because they have Needly, which some could say, oh, it's an aggressive jungle. It makes sense, right? Yes, but also what you actually have to think about is how the jungle and support in conjunction to each other, they synergize, right? Because Needly with the Yuumi compared to Needly with a Nautilus or with a Blitzcrank is consistently more scary. So this is why Ruler and Bard, they both know, okay, it's a no-brainer, it's a jungle early game and a really good setup. So the amount of pressure and the amount of urgency that you have to ward and you have to like not play aggressive is also going to be dictated by the amount of CC they have. So again, they could have an early game jungle with the super aggressive support. You need to be scared and you can't play aggressively if you don't know where is the jungle. They might have a jungle that is aggressive and a support that is enchanter, so this pressure is going to be a little bit better. Of course, best case scenario, it's like a full clear jungle like Shyvana and a Janna on support, but you're not really gonna have that really that much, right? And right here, an extra tip that I can give you is, yes, the setup is important, but you also need to think about the win conditions, really, of the enemy jungle. So if I'm enemy jungle, where am I going to gank? So let's take a look at how we do this. So usually it depends on the volatility of the matchups. Okay, this is a very complicated term, but it's really up to, are they going to fight really hard and do they have a very big carry potential? So here we do have an Aatrox against Urgot. Aatrox can play aggressive and with Nidalee you can play around it, but against an Urgot is not really a so big deal. So petting top lane is possible, so she could play around the Aatrox. Definitely a fed Aatrox is nice, and also Urgot is not really a tank, so it's someone that if you get behind he's gonna be useless. But at the same time you have Blitzcrank against Bard, you guys can get kills there. Getting Ziggs ahead is not bad. So in this case she's patting towards bot lane, so you should be also thinking about that. So let me just show you more examples like this. Okay, so right here I play Alistar, and so let's see, so we have here Graves could pet top because it's a Gnar versus K'Sante, but he could also pet bot lane. Should he pet bot lane? The answer is yes. He has a Nautilus, he has an engage against a Miss Fortune. There is a high chance that he gets kills, and there is no reason for him to play on K'Sante because Sante is just a tank. Gnar is going to have pressure for sure and he's going to push, and maybe Sante is going to be diveable if it's like Challenger, but this elo is like High Master, Mid Master, something like Grandmaster. This is on my main account, so I don't think he's gonna do it. He's just gonna do the normal play for engage kind of deal. Here we have Brand with Jinx, Milio against Caitlyn, Braum. This is not gonna be much interaction really. Right here, Braum is Braum. I mean, he's just gonna play safe. Milio, Jinx, we're just gonna farm. And we have Camille into Cassiopeia. For sure, as you guys can see, she was smurfing. No, she wasn't smurfing. It's because Brand came top. Why would he came top? It's simple. There is no reason for you to go bot. It's Milio. You don't have engage. And top lane, he's gonna play really aggressive against Cassiopeia. If you get Cassiopeia behind, we both know it's going to be absolutely garbage champion. And one more example so you can get the just get good at this. So right now we do have Nautilus, Miss Fortune, and we have Jax, Gragas, and they have Ezreal, Karma bot lane. So Diana, if she ganks bot top, I mean, if she ganks top, Gragas is tanky, he has face rush, he has E, it's a hard matchup for Jax. So, and you have a Nautilus engage mid bot lane against a Karma. Definitely she should path towards bot lane here, so Ezreal should expect level 3 gank from the Diana. So you got it, right? That's how you really think about top lane, how hard they're gonna fight, if it's good for them to like gank, and then you think about the setup bot lane. Of course, I know you're going to say, oh, but this doesn't happen, they're clueless, right? You know, this doesn't happen. This is why the next rule is going to come in place. So jungle tracking is important, and you can think about all of these things, but the most important thing in League of Legends is that you should never trust your logic. Okay, and this will sound wrong, like, oh, what do you mean? Like, so if I know he's gonna be on top lane, I'm gonna play safe? Yes, that's what I say. If you think he's gonna be top, if you think he should be top lane, you shouldn't play accordingly. You shouldn't actually play. Oh, and again, maybe you Grandmaster here and you say I'm wrong because, you know, in Grandmaster people have hands, or if I play in my elo, sure, I agree with you. High elo, if you play with humans, for sure. If you play with players that are not experienced, you play Emerald, you play, or players that are not outstanding, you know, I would say that yes, if you don't know where is the jungle, expect him as being bot. It's that simple. That doesn't mean you have to play completely in the tower or safe. Just don't E aggressive. Like, do you see how Ruler plays right now? That's how it play. He zones, he plays aggressive, but he doesn't E in. He doesn't like walk up right here. He pays attention to the blitzcrank positioning. He's like kind of safe. So he plays what I say semi-aggressive. He doesn't commit with his E in, but he pushes and he tries to really play semi-aggressively without committing his E in. So this is what I mean. Don't. So if you jungle track, and this is like crazy, right? This is the easiest way to really play League. It doesn't matter what you know about the enemy jungle, because I'm showing you right here, really simple, that you have to have good game knowledge about the game to do jungle tracking properly. But it doesn't matter, because even I don't use this. If I'm playing Emerald, how did I get from bronze to diamond 4 with 65% win rate with 200 ping? okay, with 200. How did I get it? Do you think I just did jungle struck? No, I don't give a shit about jungle tracking. I don't know what is the jungle. I don't play aggressive. It's that simple. Because if I do jungle tracking, and of course the Uga Booga Emerald 4 Heartstack 50% win rate player is gonna gank me at level 2 with Nidalee, I'll be like, oh shit, you know, I didn't expect this. He shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, that's why. Because in solo queue, we have to be adaptable. So I still expect a lot more level 3 gank and not level 2 gank. But after that point, jungle tracking becomes significantly harder. And that's what you should do as well. You don't know where is the jungle. Don't play overly aggressive. Again, this doesn't apply before 320 mark. Because 90% of the ganks, even in low elo, they tend to not gank level 2. But after that, definitely, it's actually pretty good for you to use this thing. So, okay. If you don't know where is the enemy jungle, do not play aggressive. It's that simple. It's more important than any jungle track strategy that anyone can give you. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, you know, the jungle, if you start stop, he's gonna be on bot lane. Or, oh, now it's 4 minutes and 40 seconds. The Krugs are gonna respawn and he should repeat the clear because now by this time he's gonna recall and I'm gonna press tab and I'm gonna count the farm that he has. And yeah, this is useful. You know, it's good that if you know this is like all good. But again, as I said, it doesn't really work out in lower than Grandmaster just because people are just usually very creative with the ganks. And there are many cases where if the wave state is good, they can skip a lot of camps and they can do crazy level 2 ganks, or not level 2, but crazy level 3 ganks that shouldn't usually happen. Another thing that you can do really is when you see the jungle on the map is that you click there immediately so you can see his pathing. Like now Ruler should look exactly, he should just look top lane. The thing is he should look top lane after the gank is over. He's keep looking because he wants to see if the Nidalee uses flash. He wants to see if Nidalee is going like this or if she's going like this. So he wants to see the pathing and he wants to see the HP of the jungle. And the third thing that he wants to see is he wants to see if the Nidalee recalled or not, because of course this will mean that she recalls, she passed towards bot. So right here, of course, Ruler was just pushing the wave, but if he had time, he would look to see, is she going on the river? Is she going like this? Is she pressing B? It's really important to click there to see exactly what is going on. And don't be like, oh, but I have the minimap. I know you have the minimap, but you can't see the HP and the items but just by looking at the minimap. You just look there, click on her, see her HP, see her items. You can even check her farm if you really want to. Easy peasy GG. The third tip is about weak side versus strong side. If your jungle is on the opposite side, she's making a play, just make sure you don't play aggressive, right? Check this out. This is Ruler. His jungle is top lane. So it's really simple that he shouldn't play aggressive. He can look to W them, like playing Ashe, go for short trades, but he doesn't need to commit. So now he's pushing this wave. Why is he pushing this wave? It's very, very simple. It's because his jungle is top. So if Karthus makes a play, it's either he's going to force on the Nidalee or he's just going to force against bot lane, or just straight for the Drake. So what Ruler needs to do now is that he needs to get away of this situation where it's like slow pushing to them. He does it, and now what Ruler does, he tries to fight a little. Did you guys see that? This guy is Ruler. He's the most aggressive AD carry in the world, probably, right? So what he does is like he's walking up, he's attacking, and then he immediately backs off. Why? Well, this is obviously a good trade. He can play with the pike, even if he hooks Rakan, he knows he's winning this. But he doesn't go in. Why? It's because he's weak side. He doesn't make any aggressive play. He's hovering the pike, but he's not fighting. Did you guys see that? Pike walked up, he tried to do something, and now he has a big wave, he's walking up with it. So now this is Ruler, okay? If you are this, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't play aggressive. You shouldn't like walk up like this. Ruler is really good at dodging, like Rakan W. Like, look at this, right? Okay, if you can do this and you're like Grandmaster mechanics, you can do this. But in general, after you push this wave, you go for a ward, you hover the pike, you can throw W and run away. Do not try to touch the tower unless you're super confident that you're gonna dodge the Rakan W, which I personally wouldn't recommend it. And now he's hitting the tower and he's playing pretty aggressive. Again, I do not recommend you to do this, because if you're not good enough to actually dodge the Rakan W and then you get ganked, you're dead. If Ruler is Ruler, he knows he's dodging W of Rakan by just, you know, clicking with Ashe. So he's just faker, he's just so good. But it's not really recommendable. And now Nidalee is ganking top and he sees that Karthus is not top. What is he gonna do? Look at Ruler. Simple. He's playing weak side. There is no reason to. So if you die 2v2 right now, you're inting. Even if he dies 2v2, he shouldn't be fighting. Whether he gets ganked or not, he shouldn't be fighting because he's playing weak side right now. You guys saw that, oh, but what if my support is gonna fight? You hover. If your support is gonna hover, you hover. If he's gonna fight, you hover. You don't fully commit. You don't try to ignore, but you try to discourage the fight if possible. So that's how you play weak side versus strong side, even if your support is, you know, looking to do something, right? Rule number 4 is watch the body language of the enemies when you're going for a ward. This will usually just tell you if you're getting ganked or not. So here, ruler, challenger, 1000 LP, we know it. So this gank is extremely obvious. Is if you really pay attention to this, we see Nidalee on the map right here. Ashe is really into the tower. This is actually a little bit of a mind game from Ashe. So she's actually using the E to be like, oh, I want to see if I have, if enemy jungle is here. I'm so scared. In fact, she's not scared. She's under the tower. She's not diveable. They have both Sams. And especially with SH1, you need Diana. She's not diveable. The thing is, he wants to make ruler think that Nidalee is top. He wants to make ruler feel like, oh, I'm scared, you know, where is your jungle? Don't kill me, please, don't kill me. But Nidalee is around the red buff. Tristana is really smart, so she actually dropped a word right there. But if they didn't really have a word, this is a really good mind game from Ashe. Again, Challenger Plus, you will see this not in really lower elo. So now it's super obvious that he's gonna get ganked very soon, especially because of the body language of the Seraphim. Look at this. So as the ruler is trying to escort the wave here after pushing this, Seraphim is going for some trades. This is normal because he wanted to just keep the wave here. But what is not normal is the clicking of the Seraphim. Do you guys see this? Did you guys see that click right there? And look at this. She's walking up when the wave is going into the tower. And this is again challenger. Of course, if you're playing gold, emerald, low diamond, it's so easy to actually see this. So now look at the Seraphim. Do you guys see that? So ruler, he's his autopilot. You guys can see his webcam is actually pretty funny. He's in the bathroom or something. So now he should keep the camera on them as walking towards this angle. Right now he's autopilot. He's probably doing something else. But it was really obvious that the enemy support was walking up. Again, this is just solo queue. He doesn't really care much. He can get challenger with his eyes closed. But this is still a mistake that he didn't really watch the body language of the player. And of course, you have to do that a lot. Like if you're going for a word and you see they actually woke up like this, you just don't word at all. So be very, very, very careful with that. Also, I see a lot of players, they even go like this. This is even greedier. Or if you're on the other side, let's say you're on the other side and let's say you play the lane here and you push the wave in the tower and you do this. It can work if you're sure they're like 1 HP in the tower and you can 2v3, but usually it's just better to just be safer, put a word and just be chill. So the rule of thumb here, the key is that don't over stress about jungle tracking. You need so much knowledge about the game to actually do this, and then it's also very unreliable. Like it's not really worth it. It's like you're learning, like you want to learn AD carry and you want to get challenger on top first. Like, okay, it will help you, but it's not really necessarily important, because even though I have good knowledge, I believe I have good knowledge about jungle tracking, I don't use it. If I don't know where it's a jungle, I don't play aggressive. It is really that simple, right? Because in low elo, people do stupid stuff. And again, if I play competitive, if I play like super high elo, grandmaster plus, maybe I actually use these things a lot more, of course, but not in lower elo. Even if I play master or low master or like low diamond, high diamond, I don't use these things, just because there are people that they don't really think very much like about the structure. They just do, they are very creative with the pathing. Maybe it's also lack of knowledge. Why not? So fundamentals are more important. Don't over obsess about jungle tracking. It's good to know it, but don't stress that much about it. Okay.